Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and all wrestling matters, a platform that this man has certainly built, and a platform that this man takes the center stage here for a busy week here on Sportswire Radio, and a busy week because you're getting two or really three for the price one if you count Anthony Steele being here Friday, because you're seeing this man here right now, but also Thursday. You're going to see a slew of your favorites here coming up because a St. Patrick's Day massacre is about to unfold. And this man will talk about that. He'll talk about his opponent. He'll also talk about what happened just a few short weeks ago. And he may even talk about, well, what this guy on Friday said, who is a real deal. And then maybe we'll talk about how this man returned to the IMF and how maybe some of the things he'll elaborate on further. He'll may even talk about his own country. He may even talk about what he's learned. He may even talk about what he's going to bring and why it's not an old Omen Black. It's yet a new Omen Black. It's a new Omen Black who's right now about to have the best run of his career and is about to talk about a championship that he really never lost. And he's going to talk about that. He is going to talk about maybe even why he's an A1 athlete. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now to give that A1 athlete that introduction on that platform, because a few short hours ago on the platform that he helped build, I talked to this bass player, this woman who actually just played with this guy. A few people have heard of him, named Bruce Dickinson, who only fronts this little band called Iron Maiden. And this guy, well, he was responsible for that young lady coming on here. We'll get into that, but enough. It is now time to give this man that introduction and start this week off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and all wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show, a man that is one of the greatest underground wrestling champions of all time, the man that sat on the throne on top of the IMF and all of Iowa wrestling for a year on the platform that he helped build. His name is simply put the God, the boogeyman of the Midwest, the A1 athlete. The Baba Yaga is here, my friend. How are we doing? And welcome home.
Thank you, Tom. You know what? It's always a pleasure to be back to my home, Sportswire Radio, with the Lord Tom Bryce. Thank you for having me on tonight.
Well, really, you should have said the lovely Julia Lodgy when she was on here earlier, which we'll play that tomorrow on the air.
I kind of marked that when you said that. I'm like,
yeah, she just played with Bruce Dickinson. Actually, she's on tour with Adrian Smith of Iron Maiden. They're going back on tour next month. So yeah, and her husband's only this guy Richie Kotzen who played in Poison. But we'll leave that at that.
It's only just a little band.
A little bit, but you are the bigger man right now. You are the bigger talk here tonight, you A1 athlete, because we have a lot to get into, and I know we want to talk about it because Anthony Steele had a little bit to say on it, and I want to get your reactions. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage on your platform where you allowed so many of these rock stars to come onto Sportswire Radio, talk to me on why now are you back in IMF
No, I'd rather answer that question after we see the clip from Anthony Steele's show the other night mentioning me.
I can do that right now for you. You know what? So I'm glad you said that because I can sync that up first. We'll go to the tape. We'll go right back to it to announce you on here a short while ago. Anthony Steele and what he had to say about what you did in your return to the IMF. So I'm going to do that here right now. So let me share my screen and we'll roll the tape. So here we go. Without further ado, there is Anthony Steele.
I saw that logo. A logo I haven't seen worn by Omen Black in a very, very long time.
Wow, look at what he did! Look what he just did to Isaiah Rage! And Mason Grayskull hits the bricks, so does Gabe Sayers and Felix Jones. They want nothing of Omen Black, the Boogeyman Man of the Midwest. One of the greatest champions in not only IMF, but wrestling history, a pillar of IMF and a pillar of this platform on his platform, a man who built this platform. I mean, Omen Black, they know what this man is capable of, and the only thing that those men could do is hit the bricks.
And the thing about it is Omen, exactly what Omen said. He said he's not here for Gary. He's not here for Saint. He's not here for Dirty or me. He didn't come help us for that. He came back for one thing, and that is for the World Championship. And Omen, I'm gonna let it be known, man. You know, gaining the respect back of all these guys after what me and you did to them together. It took a long, long time. And then the fights that me and you had once I was gaining their trust back, you know, it's hard for me to forgive and forget. Because the one thing is I will never forget what transpired between me and you. I will never forget what happened when you kicked me out of the Wolves. I'll never forget all the dirty-handed tactics that you did leading up to this. And it's gonna take a long time to forgive you. And I understand you might not want forgiveness. I know you're most likely not looking for it. But there's one wise word that I've learned in this industry. And it's one of the most famous sayings. That in this point in time, in this predicament that we're in, Omen, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. And what I saw you do to the main event empire, that proves to me, to my eyes at least, that we got the old Omen back. That we got the Omen Black back that I met when I first set foot in IMF. The Omen Black that does the right thing. And I'm not asking to be a tag team with you. I'm not asking for you to fully come back to the foundation. But what I will say is, if it is necessary and needed, and you need someone to help you with the main event empire, you know where to find me. You know how to get a hold of me. We've done it before, Omen. We've knocked down a lot of people together. So if you're down, I'm down. Let's knock out these motherfuckers' teeth and show Felix, Rage, Grayskull, and Gabe Sayers that they just put two of the biggest targets on all their backs. And I would have no more fun than to do it beside the foundation.
Okay,
I saw that logo.
Okay, I'll take this off the screen. I think we've heard enough of Anthony. We heard plenty of them. I think I kind of partially agree with Felix Jones. We did hear a lot from him on Friday. And there we go. Now I can enlarge the screen. So you've had a chance to digest what Anthony Steele had to say. Now Your take.
See, Tom, that was the first time I'm seeing this clip from New Year's Vengeance. This is the first time I'm watching, or the King of CR. This is the first time I'm watching this whole, I guess, interaction with Anthony Steele with you. But I have a few things I want to pick apart what he has to say. He's right. I'm not here for forgiveness. Hell, I'd be pretty stupid, Tom, to expect anyone to forgive me. But then again, I don't care. I don't care about forgiveness. But I made it known that I'm not here for Soulja. I'm not here for Saint. I'm not here for Dirty. I'm not here for Steel. Hell, I'm not even here for Felix or the Main Event Empire. I'm not. I'm here for 2 reasons. Because I was asked by my mom to save my brother. I was asked by my mom to be the protector that I once was. I was asked to be a good son. And the other reason is, Tom, I'm here to get back the title that was stolen from me, that I was embarrassingly beaten for. I'm here back to get back what's mine, is to be the IMF World Heavyweight Champion. Because there is no one better to be the IMF World Champion. I made that title. I was the reason why people were coming to sit down in the IMF show. Well, I should say now, I was one of the reasons. I'll give this Soulja GP, he could pull a crowd. He's a hero to these people who like to watch IMF wrestling. He is. People love to come see Felix Jones get booed, get ridiculed, beaten down on, and people love to see Rory Fox just come and make a mockery of them for cheering him or booing him.
I like Rory Fox. I got to be on a side point.
I love Rory Fox. And people love to come and see Damian Saint, that underdog. He's always been an underdog where he's everywhere else he's been. Here in the IMF, he's made a name for himself. Now, do I have something to do with the name of Damian Saint in the IMF? Perhaps. We've had some pretty interesting bouts, Tom.
I'm aware. I've watched some of them. A few of them I've talked about on here, I would think, in these last couple years. Yeah.
If anyone know the history, it's Tom Bryce on Sportswire.
I've lived it. I mean, I've lived it 3 years plus. I've seen you come on here. I never forget the day, I was told by a certain someone about you guys and then don't bring you on. I'm aware of the history. But you said some things that were so interesting in today and why you're back. Your mom said to do what you did, but yet you're upset about the way things unfolded. So it must make you feel torn about everything that's leading up into your return, and I'm sure what you'll do throughout this year, right?
Tom, I want to roll back the hands of time a little bit to last year when I was reigning undisputed champion here in the IMF. My biggest thing was I was like Barack Obama. I was all about change. Bringing change to the IMF because the previous system wasn't doing it no more. Previous system was.
You're the guy that talked about nepotism on here last. You were upset about the nepotism.
And I like to think that, Tom, I accomplished that 100%. I changed the IMF, but I don't think I changed it in the way that I anticipated. Because now look who's on top. Damian Saint. And now we have Felix Jones, which I had a lot of faith in Felix Jones. I really did. I truly did. He was, I guess, my protege. He's my nephew. And he was my right-hand man. And I always believed in Felix, but to believe in the way he's doing business now is, I guess I have to blame myself a little bit, Tom, because he's going down a path that I guess I taught him. And he's way above that. But now it's my job to bring him back down a couple pegs. If I got to go through Felix Jones and the main event Empire to get back what I want is that IMF World Title, so be it. Now, Anthony Seal brought up a good point. It's gonna take a while to get forgiveness. Like I said, I don't want forgiveness. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here for family. Well, I guess. But I'm not here for any other bullshit. I'm not here for other gold. I'm not here for, I want to win the Rumble this year. I'm not here for none of that. I'm going to get back what's mine. Now, if Felix Jones got to be the man who takes a fall to Omen Black, so be it. Damian Saint, I've been there, done that. But now, I just feel bad for my next opponent coming up this next weekend. Because not only have I been watching and disappointed in the IMF for no one truly stepping up to fill my shoes that I left at Winter Clash, but I've been working my ass off. I've been training. And you're going to see a different Omen Black this Saturday at St. Paddy's Day Massacre when I take on Kyle Keplin, the Deuce of Detroit. And I humbly and graciously beat the living crap out of him because that's all this guy deserves. I used to like Kyle, but he's ran his mouth too much.
We're going to talk about him in a little while. I mean, absolutely, that's a topic that I definitely want to dive into and get your perspective, but I want to come back to a couple of things, and that's certainly Felix Jones. Obviously, Felix Jones was a guy I never forget last year. You were here and he came on and you were talking with him and you were trying to show him a different way. You were trying to show him a different path. And it seems like from what you just said, Champ, and what you were trying to instill into your nephew, Felix Jones, you don't seem to be pleased with this route that he's gone down. And maybe that's another reason why you're back, because this is not what you had wanted from Felix Jones last year when you came on here and kind of gave him that talk. You read him the riot act just about right around this time last year.
Right. It's like I said, Tom, it's sad because Felix Jones, he's an A1 athlete. Truly, he's a remarkable talent in any locker room he's in. And like I said, I'll take the blame because I taught him his ways. But it makes me sick that I kind of ruined Felix Jones. I don't like what I look at when I see Felix Jones no more. I don't like the man I see. It reminds me of myself, Tom. And I truthfully believe that Felix Jones is better. Now, do I have wins over Felix Jones? Of course. Does Felix Jones have wins over me? Of course. But I don't want to focus on Felix Jones as of right now. I want to focus on my main goal is Kyle Keplin and the IMF World Title.
I'm going to definitely talk about Kyle Keplin here in a few minutes. I definitely want to get into that, but I want to come back to the world title because that was something that you put a lot of effort into. That was something that you held for a year. You were the champion for a year. What you did, and regardless of what people had thought of you during that run, I had always said, if you think about what you did as the guy on top, leading the IMF into where it is today, and we know that this show coming up here this Saturday, which we're going to be talking also a lot about on Thursday here on Sportswire Radio, is going to be, I think, the biggest attended show in the company's history. And all those attendance records that the IMF was breaking was during, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing something here, but that run when you were the champion, all those attendance records were being shattered month after month after month. And they always say, when you look at who's on top, when business is good, and you were the guy on top, and it must have certainly hurt the way you lost that world championship and kind of you were pushed to the side. As a matter of fact, you and I were here, not this past show, but the previous show, and you had to buy a ticket to get into the building. I mean, you're one of the greatest champions, not just in IMF's history, but in underground or anywhere in wrestling history, right? For what you did. And that must have really hurt you, champ, the way you lost that title, and also the way you were kind of pushed to the back burner for 2 months.
Not really, Tom. Wasn't so hurt. I was more excited, I guess, at the time to watch and see who would step up, be the guy that I once was. I was, like you said, I was the guy on top. I was the guy everyone who wanted to be, and everyone wanted to hate because I was so good. But sadly, no one really caught my eye. Yeah, you got Felix Jones. Yeah, he's doing his thing. Good for him. But if it was me, I'd be world champion by now. If I would have came back in January, I'd be champion right now. I'd be having a strap on my shoulder. But I just don't. I don't let shit slide, Tom. I don't. Now I had to talk to my mom and plead my case to her. Like, I can't forgive everything that's happened. Hell, I couldn't even forgive her for not even showing up to my wedding. But you know what? I had many missed calls from her. I had many text messages from her telling me how, oh, I love you, son. I wish we could talk. I guess it was just more on me. I wasn't ready to talk to her. Because I always felt like the black sheep of the family. You know, she's got Donnie, Soldier, me. And I was always the one left out. I was the young cub. But you know, it's being away, I had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to do what I wanted. Travel, train, traveled around the world, traveled to Europe even, traveled to Russia.
I asked you about that. How was it being back in the motherland? How was it?
See, I call it home because I feel at home in Russia. I love Slavic and Siberian, like fucking
Borscht. Listen, I know all about that stuff. Listen, you took it to the guy that I've been on Russian radio, the Russian radio station. So I mean, of course, I'm very aware.
It's I've always had a strong, like, gravitational pull to the Slavic, like, culture, and I don't know. So I went there, got married to the lovely Chi Chi. Hope you're watching. Got married on Saturday, but then after Saturday, you know, Sunday came around. We're like, this ain't working out, actually. So got humbly and gracefully got divorced, and I left her there on Monday. I hope she's back by now, or I hope she's not watching, actually, because I kind of just like dipped in the middle of the night, just gone.
We won't send her the link for this episode. We'll
Please
make
don't.
Sure. No, definitely not. Definitely not in the cards.
But you know, it's had a lot of time to travel. I think the only person that I have actually reached out to and actually heard from constantly, it was no one in the IMF like locker room. Of all people, it was Jordan Crowley.
Yes, absolutely. He's talked about you here or in previous episodes. He had talked a lot about you, as a matter of fact.
He was the only one asking me, "Hey, how you doing? Are you okay?" He was the one telling me about everything that was happening in the IMF. He was the one giving me dates so I could show up to these shows. He's the one helping me get back home to make these shows and send me back to my other home. He was great. He was giving me places to stay. He was taking care of my house while I was gone. It was just, I want to thank Jordan Crowley for that, but I know he's upset right now because he's never been a foundation guy. Never has, never will. And the reason, Jordan, I don't want you coming on tonight because I know it's going to be a weird thing, but I want to tell you face to face, if you're looking right at this camera right now. The reason why I didn't tell you my plan, because, Jordan, respectfully, you have a big mouth. Someone would have found out. Someone would have found out. So I want to say I apologize to Jordan. Hope there's no hard feelings. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. And This man has got to get his world title back.
And obviously, that is something that is on your mind, and that's really the reason you're back in the IMF. We're going to get to your opponent when we get to the other side of the chat here in a minute, but this is why you're here. You're not here to, Anthony had put up I really can't do it by name, but what time it is. He put that up there. You're not here about that. You're not here to make friends. You're not here for anything but something that you feel you should have rightly have kept and you were going to leave here with. And that's why you're back to get that World Heavyweight Championship.
And I'm also here for a favor for my mom.
Understood. Very understandable. And I think that's very commendable. Very commendable. And I think a lot of people would, give you a lot of respect for that because of what the history was between you and Soulja throughout this past year. But for you to have done that, but you didn't do it for anybody else but your mom. And I think that's very commendable. And, and obviously I could also understand maybe why you didn't tell Jordan, because Jordan, unlike you, not to spend too much more time on Felix, he has been very vocal and adamant about what Felix is doing. And that would seem to have some disagreement between you two and how Felix is going about things.
Like I said, Tommy, I feel like every time I look at Felix, I'm looking at a version of myself that I was the best at last year. I was the greatest heel, all the underground independent wrestling. No one could hold a candle to what I was doing. But I just hope that Felix Jones soon gets his head out of his ass and sees that he doesn't need chumps like Gray Skull or Isaiah Rage or a Gabe Sayers.
Gabe Sayers, I got to be honest, that one really took a lot of people by surprise most. I get Gray Skull, Isaiah Rage is back. I mean, you certainly, obviously, you certainly made some short work of him, I guess, from your perspective. But Gabe Sayers is a guy that I think a lot of people would not have seen that coming from, especially with what he's done and how he's conducted himself, where he's been. I think that, and again, I know it's not your fight, but you've been in the ring with Gabe Sayers, and I have to imagine that definitely caught a lot of people by surprise, maybe even yourself included.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. Kyle Kaplan's such a interesting guy.
People want to talk to you. People are like, they really want to talk to you tonight. There's a lot of people here in the chat. They haven't seen you in a while. I see people that haven't been around in a while. Daniel Banner from the UK is up at 3 a.m. Daniel Tafura is here. Want to say hello. I mean, Skulls, who's, by the way, done some stuff and really turned his own career and made something out of it. GCW is refereeing.
Skulls.
He's going to come back on it next month. He's really done a great job in putting himself out there. A lot of guys are here tonight that want to talk with you. Camo Cam is in the house. I mean, just there's a lot of people that are here. So I mean, obviously, look, I don't want to talk about Gabe Sayers if you don't have to. I mean, Anthony Steele spoke plenty about him, but I do want to talk about your opponent here. But I'll get to the chat formally first, then we'll do that. Zilla is here first, who you had an interesting up and down history with. Speaking of people that celebrated a birthday this past weekend, Quick Strike Johnny Velocity, and maybe you'll still be his final opponent. There's always that possibility. The ROVW Prestige champions in the house. I also want to wish a very happy birthday to Alex Bernovan from the Sports Authorities group. He wanted me to wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Alex. Thank you for your support. And please have a great day and enjoy. And thank you for your support in our group. I'm a moderator for, so everybody that's in the group, we have like 6,000 members. So thank you for your support. Thank you, Zilla. Speaking of people that are happy you're back, Ox McCoy, who's definitely not happy with Gabe Sayers, and he may finally get his wish and get that hardcore championship. It has now been announced. We're going to see Gabe Sayers, who's with the Main Event Empire, against Ox McCoy. And the man we're going to get to, I'm going to get to him in about 5 or 10 minutes. I know you have a lot to say on Kyle Kaplan. We will get to the former ROEW champion himself. The man will be here, a champion in many places, and he will be back.
He was ROEW champion?
Prestige champ. I'm gonna say champion in ROEW. I don't know if I made myself corrected here, but a champion in ROEW and a champion. He's been a champion for many years, a man that has come here, and a lot of people didn't think that he would, and he's here. So he's definitely going to be your next opponent. We're going to talk about him. Kyle, we know. Ox, you couldn't do it. How's it feel? I almost respect it. Almost. Okay. Where's Zilla? She's here. And your brother's here. You wouldn't be without him. And obviously, we hope he's recovering well from his injury. So we certainly wish, so, despite some of the things you may feel, very bad. Ox, as much as you bother me, I respect you for pinning me. Nobody would have thought to spear me through a television. Well, he traveled 8 hours, and I'll tell you that Kyle Kaplan is here to stay. And psych on the respect.
You thought that was crazy. Kyle, wait till fucking this weekend.
We're going to get to him in a few minutes. We're going to do that. I know that's your next opponent. There is Skulls, who has, he's right. Omen Black has unfinished business, and that will be Kyle Kaplan is first. Kyle Kaplan, a man that has held championship gold in ROEW, is here. So we will talk about him shortly. I hate you so much, Omen. We will get to him as well. Hello. Another man that is obviously a big fan, and thank you for being here. Felix Jones is in the house, has plenty to say. Jordan Crowley, brothers and sisters, rejoice for you bring good news.
Jordan.
Today is good news. Omen Black, absolutely great news that he is back on Sportswire. I thought he was my friend. You did talk about that as well. Hello to Michael Christian. How you doing, Omen? Yep. Anthony was a sidekick, didn't like it, turned on Omen just to be a sidekick. Well, Anthony Steele was here and had plenty to say on Friday's show. Blah, blah, blah. Can we just skip this? Anthony's words don't matter. Felix definitely has his opinions. How about no Anthony? I'll just tell him to stay home. He can do that, by the way. He can do that. Technically, he can. He has his contract. Speaking of people wishing you well, Aaron Blaze in the house will be here
Aaron
next
Blaze.
Sunday. Hope all is well. Yes, thank you very much. I watched Omen. I watched Aaron earlier today on YBW TV. Have a interesting back and forth with Dominic. I was your right hand man, then you left. And Doc Holliday is in the house. Speaking of people who know Gabe Sayers, and I know you will not be having white people's food. Hello.
Like I said when Doc goes on here, Tom, I'm speaking to existence. Doc Holliday and Omen Black will go one-on-one this year. I promise that.
I would love, I would love to see that, and I would definitely like to see that much more than Doc Holliday have to eat white people's food, because I'm still not sure what that may be.
He's fucking around with the wrong white people.
Well, as a white guy from Brooklyn, the white people food I like is pizza. So I think that would be a food we can maybe universally agree on from all backgrounds. Let's move on. We like to universally do that. Seems like I didn't miss the party. Camo Cam's in the house. Definitely Camo Cam will be there Saturday, I'm sure, with Jim, her dad. Bro came back to wrestle Kyle Kaplan. Well, you know what, Kyle? We're going to talk about him. We're going to definitely talk about him. What's up, Omen Black? And you are an A1 athlete, that's for sure. As much as it does almost sound like the Vanilla Ice line in Ice Ice Baby, 81 Avenue, but you're an A1 athlete, not to be confused with 81 Avenue. But here we go. Pretty much whoever is holding the IMF championship is a target, and right now that is Damian Saint. Does it matter to you if Damian Saint keeps that IMF championship, or what's your thoughts?
Next comment.
Okay, good enough. So I had to slide it in. But yes, and please hit the sub button and follow the IMF. We'd like everybody to support them and help them continue to break more attendance records. And great work by the IMF. The last show, you guys had a huge crowd, and I saw Austin Bayless's post on Facebook. You guys already broke another record without even trying. At this point, you just might, every show you might break a record at this point. And Felix wants to make a good point, and I'm going to let it slide because he's right. We broke our records the last 2 shows, and he main evented both of those shows. So maybe Felix Jones is the reason business is up.
Let me say this. I may have been a part of the shows, but all the prediction videos that I've seen, they all were talking about me still, and I wasn't even part of the company.
I did watch them. It was Camo Cam and who's then? Forgive me, the
Ella.
little Ella. I see Ella on TikTok. I did see Ella. I saw Ella in the building on the show this past at King of Cedar Rapids. And yes, Zilla and Felix Jones still don't like each other. Let's keep going for some more relevant talk. There you go. Obviously, we're not going to send her the link. And Felix is not in a good mood. And Skull would like to say it will be an honor if I get a chance to referee an Omen Black match in IMF. You never know. You never know. Gabe is
Yeah.
about to bury Ox McCoy. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But, we'll have to see what happens there. Jordan Crowley is your right-hand man?
Hold on. I didn't say he's my right-hand man, but he was the only one who reached out. Felix, you didn't reach out. So, next comment.
Okay, we'll keep going.
I'll say this. He's a good friend of mine. I'll say that. He's a good friend of mine.
Listen, I mean, you know what? We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to talk about it. That's for sure. I'm definitely watching. There is Jordan, and no one cares. And okay, I get that you said what's up.
I get it. What's up? What up? I get it. It's like the third time I've seen it.
I get it. I mean, trust me, I appreciate that. It's it's almost like when my guest that I interview, which we'll see tomorrow night, Julia Lodgy was on, and I get it. You'll see her and you'll want to ask her out on a date, but it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Or
I'll say this too, Rage. You need to do this. You need to do the exact thing you're doing in your picture. You need to shush and let the grown man speak. Thank you.
Well, he was not happy about Anthony Steele and what he was saying about him on Friday's show. So I mean, that's why he's upset.
I caught that. He's a liar. So I'm at work. I'm at work.
Listen,
he's in a basement.
He was at work. Listen, and Isaiah, I'm going to stick up for Isaiah because he was at work. He was telling me he was at work. And on top of that, Anthony interviewed Isaiah with you as well in the past. So, I mean, Anthony was really trying to push this man's buttons. And if this man is trying to provide for his family and question him, I mean, listen, he's going to push back. And that's what Isaiah did. Isaiah did answer from the chat every time Anthony was asking him questions. And he was a stand-up guy. He did a good job on that. I'm going to stick up for Isaiah Rage on that.
I did like a 50% power, black hole slam. He was down for the count. So
I could show the footage,
Rage,
but I don't know.
Stay in your lane, Rage.
All right, let's get to some more comments. We have a few more to go. Great. Another main event Empire. Okay. Thank you, Ox. I appreciate you.
Ain't wrong.
You better watch your mouth, Ox. And Ox, you shut your mouth. Let me get to Jordan Crowley. I respect the decision. And yes, I would have talked you out of it. I would never reveal the plan. I also was there for the training, and all have been and will continue to be there.
Thank you. I respect that. Thank you so much.
And what are you going to do, Princess? No one can hold a handle in caps lock. We're going to get to him next. We're going to definitely get to him, and I'm sure that's going to be a big topic. Okay, yes, Kyle, tell him. And I Felix, Justin, Kyle Kaplan, definitely, I will say he has been impressive these last few months, and I'm going to talk about him next. I want not just the IMF, but the entire world to see what Omen Black is capable of. And, and we're going to find that out. And Daniel Tafua, we said hello. Thank you, Daniel. And also congratulations on the baby. Ox, I'll make you the bloodiest you've ever been. You don't want this. And you think Kyle made you bloody. Oh, boy. Kyle makes me laugh too much. And thank you. I've seen your comments. He's here, Omen Black. He appreciates them, and we know who you are. We know who you are. He knows. He appreciates. Omen appreciates his fans, and if you want an autograph in the mail, it'll be $20, and also send
20. That's so low.
Send the the posting he'd be like over 60 because posting for your expedited shipping is like more than the shipping, So
yeah, but my autograph for anyone in Wisconsin is more than $20.
Oh, I didn't know
$200 and then shipping.
You know what? That's a good point because I didn't know what it cost in Wisconsin for autographs. I admittedly didn't know that. So
just for anyone in Wisconsin because it's a flyover state.
I see. I got you. We're talking about flyovers with Julia because she's in Vixen and then she's going back to play with Iron Maiden's Adrian Smith. You cheated against Kyle. That's the only reason you won. Tom, I've shed the banner to my true name. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you. And I am the heel in the underground of independent wrestling. Omen, just a Pillsbury doughboy, and I'm not talking. Cass says we will get to him. I will read off the rest of the comments. I want to give you something as well. Don't lie, Ox. You cheated. We all seen it. Right, Felix? You've seen this clown who has bled more than Ox. Not me, you big buffoon. And I seen Kyle. You whoop that boy. The wind blows and I bleed. Well, Ox does rain.
Yeah, you get checked out for that. That shouldn't be happening.
Camo Cam will make IMF wrestling at Saint Massacre. Camo Cam will make IMF wrestling St. Patrick's Day Massacre prediction video soon this week. Thank you, Camo Cam. And tag me on TikTok so I can watch the video. And I'll share it and I'll repost it if I don't already. Hello, and And I hope he's not recovering from his injuries. Good to see Omen Black. Thank you. And good to see him back. I agree with that. Happy late birthday to Johnny Velocity.
Thank
And
you, Johnny
Rage, I
Velocity.
owe you when I'm healed. And I hope Soldier is recovering because he's got a little more time to recover. And we want to see him out there soon. And you may feel differently. And I'll keep my mouth shut. Zilla, you can always continue. 8 yeah, I seen that. Good one, Soldier. I'll hold his arms. You can punch him in the mouth. There was only 2 prediction videos. Yeah, there was only 2. Also, you said it was all about you. I didn't think you would need my help. My fault, Unc. And there's a big mountain to climb. It's only a question of who can get to the top and who gets kicked off. And whoever gets to the top waves the flag and claims the prize. Good points, Daniel, and our friends in the UK. Well, Daniel's all right. Daniel's a good guy, and I'm going to get to what you're about to talk about and do this coming Saturday. Before I get to that, because it's your platform, it's your day today. So I'm going to give you this when we're off the air. Not that you've gotten 1 or 2 of these before, a lot more than that, but you're going to get it anyway because it is your show and it is your platform. But I know you've been waiting for it the entire evening, and it's what's in front of you this Saturday. And I think a lot of people are really intrigued to hear your opinion on your take on what you're going to do in your first match back since you lost that IMF championship in whatever way it was. But this is your first match back here in nearly 3 months, and it's going to be against none other than Kyle Kaplan, and set the tables for what we can expect this Saturday.
No, I would like to say this. Thank you for giving me my own day on 316 day. What? It's an honor. But it's the only thing I can say about Kyle right now, Tom, is I loved Kyle. He's a good friend of mine. I respected everything he was saying. But seeing him out there in IMF last show, he pushed me the wrong way. Metaphorically and physically. He put his hands on me. The camera can't really show it.
I can put that footage up, which I'm going to do that right now. I know
the cameras don't even get it at all. But you see the cameras, I push him back, and he goes quite a ways. He probably goes like 10 feet back. But, you know what? I don't care, Kyle. We were friends. We can still be friends after. It's just going to be awkward after what I do to you at St. Paddy's Day Massacre. And like I said, I'm not here for forgiveness. You don't have to forgive me, Kyle. That's fine. But I will say this. Dirty Donnie was listening to the fans. Because not only was this supposed to be a normal match, a one-on-one, Kyle Kaplan, Omen Black. For once, Dirty Donnie listened to the fans and gave them what they wanted. They wanted to see Omen Black in the environment that they love to see Omen Black in. Extreme rules, no holds barred, nothing, no countouts, rope breaks, nothing. All the carnage and violence that I could bring, that's in all the sick ideas I have in my head, are all going to show this Saturday when I go one-on-one with Kyle Kaplan. And I just hope that Kyle Kaplan's ready for that, because I give a lot of respect to Ox, but I'm not Ox. I'm Omen goddamn Black. And I'm here to make a statement and use Kyle Kaplan as a stepping stone.
That's a lot you said there, but are you concerned in any way that Kyle Kaplan could be using this for motivation? Because Kyle Kaplan has come here, and he's come here when a lot of people didn't think he would actually show up. Kyle Kaplan has come here, and he's got a lot to prove. And what an opportunity it is for him, despite whatever the way it came about. There's an opportunity for him to go out and beat the man that just for the past year was on top of the IMF. And this gives him more to talk about than anybody could have ever expected from him. So are you concerned in any way that maybe you're giving him some motivation on some of the things you've just said?
Oh, absolutely, Tom. I hope I'm motivating Kyle. I don't want to. I don't want an easy match. I don't want an easy fight. I don't want him to be scared. I don't want him to be doubting himself. I want Kyle Keplin to go in there thinking he's going to beat the man who was on top of the IMF, who made the IMF the top brand in the Midwest. I want him to think that he could beat me. It's going to be so much sweeter when I prove him wrong, prove all of his fans wrong, all of his friends wrong, and it's going to be even sweeter to show all these fans who the true top dog in the IMF is.
Now, we just saw the footage of that pointing between you and him, and all he was doing was pointing. I mean, he didn't really do anything in the way that you've talked about throughout the evening, but it's that simple that, listen, he should not have even looked at you. He should not have even been anywhere near your sight, and this wouldn't happen.
You want to know what I said to him when I walked by him, Tom? And I warned him. I said a couple sweet words. You're fucking dead next month. Now, I'm not really threatening his life, but he's going to wish that he was dead after what I do to him in the ring. Now, like I said, I want Kyle to be competent. I don't want to go on here and even scare Kyle. I don't think I will, because
No, I don't think you will. I tell you what, a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people didn't believe in this guy, but this guy came 8 hours all the way here, and this guy is here again. I mean, we saw what he did with Ox, and he, like I said, he's got a lot to prove here. He's got a lot to prove, and he also was the All Wrestling Matters champion. You know, a lot of people, what he was able to do there, what he did to guys like Jack Delta who haven't been in the ring. I mean, this guy, has put himself in great shape. The guy has put himself here in the moment. And, what better way for him to show the world against a guy that's one of the greatest underground champions or of this generation or any generation. And he's ready, I'm sure.
It also grinds my gears a little bit. He did all this. He started a problem with me on the show that we were tributing to Il Drago. Il Drago, when you watch this, or Kiki, I hope everything's going well. I hope a fast recovery for you.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
He wanted to talk all this shit about Il Drago, about how talk about all this Samoan culture bullcrap. Well, you're stepping in the ring with Omen goddamn Reigns, if at this point.
Okay. Well, I mean, let me ask you this question: if you had any, parting shots for Kyle Keplin or anything that you may want to say to him that maybe would either change his mind or maybe give him pause about what's to come this Saturday, what would they be?
I know it sounds like a cliche, Tom, but the one thing that I want him to expect this weekend is pain, carnage, violence. Oh, and there's going to be blood, but it's not going to be my blood. It's not going to be like last month where, like Ox said, the wind blew and he busted wide open. No, Kyle, your blood's going to be shed for the first time in the independent scene. Your blood's going to be shed the first time in the IMF ring. And I'm honestly going to thank you, Kyle, for giving me the opportunity to make you bleed.
You know what? Listen, and we know that little band Slipknot was where we heard about Wait and Bleed, and it took them to the top of the heavy metal world. But apparently Omen Black is ready to be back on top once again in the world of the IMF. And that road to it starts this Saturday, St. Patrick's Day Massacre. And Patty's Day is going to come a few days later in Cedar Rapids. And it's going to be Omen Black against the Duke of Detroit, Kyle Keplin, the former All Wrestling Matters champion. And he is here in the IMF. Just hearing you speak, Omen, just obviously we're all excited about this show. And obviously we can't wait. And we're excited about Thursday's show. But, I was going to ask you for closing thoughts, but apparently I've received word that there is somebody here that wants to congratulate you on everything you've done and tell you what an A1 athlete that you are. And thank you for doing what you've done in returning, and only if you, it's your platform. I don't want to do anything, and I know that you've finally got your chance to shine here and talk the way you want to, and you don't get it as much as you should. So only if you insist, may I share my screen, allow this individual to come on here and obviously praise you.
Of course.
All right. Well,
I love being praised.
I love praising you, but it's not me that's about to praise you. But for those that are listening and watching here, in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest
You
stage,
fat bitch!
Are you at work?
I heard you talking. You're gonna make me bleed?
Yeah.
Look at this. You see what is this, Omen? What is this?
It looks like a pen at a pizza shop.
Well, first off, this is a burger joint. Get it right.
Okay,
I'm at my shoot job right now.
My bad, pimp. My bad.
You know what I'm saying? You know what this pen signed earlier today?
I'm guessing
the same thing you signed last month, baby. The same exact thing. So you know what that means, Omen?
What did it sign?
It signed an IMF contract. One of the highest bidders.
Okay.
I got to finish out my time at ROEW. I was allowed to do that. But here's the thing.
You got to finish your time out in the yard. I get it.
Here's the thing. It's the underground, not the yard. I'm not Silver Wolf. I'm not a bum. Here's the thing.
That's true. That's true.
Thanks, Omen. I knew you were a good friend. But you're not my friend anymore, Omen.
You shoved me. By the way.
You shoved me in my most successful debut where everybody cheered for me. And I said, fuck you. Sorry, Tom, for my language. I said, forget you. I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that's for fame and money and to beat people up. And the one man that they threw in front of me on my first match there should have murdered me. And guess what he didn't do? You know why I'm the Duke of Detroit? Because I run shit here. Kwame Kilpatrick himself helped raise me. And if you think some country bumpkin from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, is going to have any part in my downfall, you are so sadly mistaken.
I don't need to be part of your downfall. You're already working at a burger shop.
Listen here.
You're already there. You're already at the rock bottom.
Listen here. I'm on the up and up. I'm one of the fastest rising heels in independent wrestling history. I promise you, this Saturday in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, at St. Patrick's Day Massacre, I am going to make you bleed. I am going to make you cry. I'm going to make you wish that you just stayed in wrestling school. I'm going to make you look like a little fucking flounder going blah, 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 blah. That's what's going to happen, Omen Black.
You know what? I'm glad you think that, Kyle. I really do. And like I said, I liked you, Kyle.
I loved you.
But at this point, are you familiar with the little rap beef between Eminem and MGK?
Of course.
In this story, I'm Eminem. I have to give you a career just to destroy it. So, unfortunately, Kyle, I have to do that. I have to be the one friend who doesn't like to sugarcoat shit to you. I'm gonna hurt you, Kyle.
I'm gonna hurt you, Kyle. Look
at that. Even your fucking phone doesn't believe in you what you say.
Listen, my phone is a cheap iPhone, okay? I spent only $1,000 on it. That's like $10 in my book, right?
How's gambling going?
God damn it. Listen here, Omen. It's not funny, man. It's not funny, but you know what's going to be really funny? When all them children sitting front row are going to watch their favorite wrestler in the entire world be put back on the shelf because the Duke don't play. Omen, I will see you Saturday. And, hey, have EMS on standby. That's all I got to say. IMF, I'm your new guy. I got a nice deal, and I'm going to be there for the rest of the year. Everybody else, get fucked. Hi, Tom. I love you. Thank you for having me back on. I missed you.
See you back soon. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on the return. And wow, Kyle Kaplan. I got to tell you, Omen Black, he came on here, and he's here to stay.
He came in hot at me.
He came in.
Pissed him off.
I tell you what, he came in here, and he's here to build off his return. He's here to build off what he's been saying and what he did at the King of Cedar Rapids. So, I mean, you've got him, and he was right in front of you, and he didn't back down one bit. A lot of guys in the past have gone up against you, and some never did for obvious reasons. And, maybe it was good for their health and well-being, but this guy's not that. This guy is here, and
I don't expect him to, Tom. He has to be that way towards me. Because if he wasn't going to be the Duke of Detroit, how he likes to claim he is, I wouldn't believe anything he's saying. I wouldn't believe in him. The fans, I guess, wouldn't believe in him. Even the IMF management wouldn't believe in him if he was, you know what? I hope I beat you, Omen. I hope we have a good match, Omen.
But he's not that kind of guy. No,
he's not
that kind of guy.
I'm glad he's not. Truthfully, I'm glad he's not. Like I said, it's gonna make it so much sweeter when I prove him wrong. And like I said, I had to give him a career. I had to give him some clout just to bring him back down.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're obviously going to see this match on Saturday, and I'll bring him back on it after the match, and we'll get his perspective on what has happened and what you and him do to each other. And we'll give him that opportunity. We'll give him that opportunity when that time comes. And maybe people would want to hear from Kyle Kaplan. Maybe they would want to hear in what he has to say, because the way he came on here tonight, I think this guy, especially now that he has an IMF contract that he just signed, he's like anybody else that I think is going to be a contender here.
Yeah, you know what? The people saw a new Kyle Kaplan. God, I want to hate the guy, but I love the guy. Like, it sucks that I have to do what I have to do this weekend to a guy like Kyle, because truthfully, I respect the guy, but then again, I have to bring him back down. I have to humble him. I have to show everyone in the IMF universe, remind them who the fuck Omen Black is. I'm surprised you haven't pushed the button yet, Tom.
Well, my hand's a little. I was my dominant hand, so I've been a little slow lately. I think when I had Drowning Pool on. Was a CJ Pierce and his Drowning Pool. He said, can I curse?" And I was like, "I have a fractured hand. I'll let it pass." So,
Shout out to Drowning Pool, by the way.
Yeah, it was great on your platform. You brought him here. I mean, listen, but wasn't for you, Omen Black, we wouldn't have had them on. I mean, so
I know we have a lot of people in the comments.
Obviously, and we're talking about people's phones, and obviously the Duke corpsing send for the man. Well, he was here tonight. I'll tell you what. Ox, when you gonna get a main event Empire shirt? Well, maybe he would like one. You never know. When you gonna give Kaplan a main event Empire shirt? Yeah, I don't think Kaplan is joining the main event Empire. And obviously, hello, thank you for being here as well. Obviously, more fans of yours. You had very interesting history there, up and down. But,
yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's real.
I got the reference. Sorry, Rage, you're not recruiting me for your reverse Epstein group. Oh boy. Kyle's second to me. There you go. Did he say swarm? And obviously, look, I mean, Jordan Crowley, excuse me for having a bad knee from serving this country, kid. And just a lot that we've had to say here tonight. And I mean, I know you said you don't want the Prophet on. I know you don't want the Prophet on tonight. You've gotten Kyle Kaplan. I mean,
let's bring the Prophet on.
You want to hear from the Prophet? You sure?
Yeah.
It's your platform. I mean, it's your platform.
An apology doesn't mean nothing unless you say it face to face via web camera.
Oh, I'm sure he can do that. I mean, brothers and sisters would certainly rejoice. I think there'd be plenty of people that would rejoice.
By the way, shout out to Austin James. I see you in the comments. What's up, dude?
Yeah, yes, we will see him on it. And speaking of Austin James, he should know that his company's owner, Silas Walker, is here Friday night in your chair. So that'll be very interesting. And in between that, I should plug myself, because there's this little band called Striper, and we have the man that's founded the band, Michael Sweet, is on here before that. So we'll have to plug that.
I want to address on why is everyone of all people giving Ox McCoy bullshit? Like,
well, because they want to test him. They want to test him.
I know me and Ox have history, and I like to believe that I have made amends with Ox. But I'll give Ox this. He is He is the reason why Omen Black is Omen Black today. How I'm so violent, and I'm kind of I guess my nickname, a boogeyman in the ring, because one time I watched a backyard death match with Ox McCoy and Joey Knotts, and that inspired me truly to be just like Ox. So again, I don't know why people are giving Ox so much shit, but I guess whatever. They're gonna have to deal with that pain. It's when they come across Ox McCoy, because me and Ox had 2 wrestling matches together, and he doesn't hit soft.
I remember 2 years ago.
He doesn't hit
We had
light.
one year and a half ago. Yeah. Listen, Sean Jovi said he hasn't been in the ring since with him. I mean, Sean Jovi has famously said that. Jovi will be back on here Thursday. You'll be hearing from him. I'm sure, you'll be around.
Yeah, I got unfinished business with Ace Diamond and company. I'll leave it at that, but I got unfinished business with them.
I know you have no interest in that. I'm sure Sean Jovi will talk about that. He had plenty to say on Facebook with the back and forth, with him and Tone DeBoss. I'm sure that'll be a topic. And I have no doubt Anthony Steele will be back on Thursday. That Anthony Steele is going to always have something to say. And, I'll be very curious about that. I'm sure Isaiah Rage will be here in the chat. I'm sure you'll hear about Gabe Sayers. But brothers and sisters, rejoice, because you wanted an apology from him. He has arrived, and he has decided to come on to the stage, and we are waiting because he is backstage. We're just waiting for him to fix some technology, and that is the one and only.
He's old. You got to forgive him. Like, he doesn't understand technology, so.
No, that's not. He understands plenty of technology. I just see, unfortunately, the circle. I don't want to put him on until I see the camera. Well, he left. He'll be back.
He's not an A1 athlete like me, but, he's close.
Well, he probably was in the video for Ice Ice Baby 818 Avenue. I mean, he's probably, old enough to remember being in the video.
Right.
And also, no one cares. Oh, I think this is the reference. Me and your daughter are besties.
I don't have a daughter, but okay.
I think it's maybe Ox McCoy, maybe.
Okay.
No one cares who you're friends with. And whoa, Omen, damn, you are such a sweetie, Omen. I can't wait to see you use the new tech I've shown you. And also, I am the only A1 athlete. The only A1.
Did you hear Tom's intro? I'm an A1 athlete. I'm a goddamn A1 athlete. God damn it! Sorry.
No, it's your show. It's your platform. I mean, we're just waiting for Jordan. Right now, he has arrived and he has got it fixed. And I am just gonna let him come onto the stream and not even introduce him because he's here.
Brothers and sisters, rejoice. Mr. Black, good to see you. Tom, nice to see you. Obviously, sir, I've been watching. Allow me to I know I've already said it in the chat. I understand. Obviously, we've had a lot of conversations over the past few months. I get why you did what you did. Obviously, when we traveled back to what you refer to as home, I know the importance of family. I get where you were coming from. Do I agree with it? No, absolutely not. I don't. But I understand. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, floor is yours, sir.
I couldn't tell you because out of the fear of the news breaking, I guess the mainstream, the radio waves. I just couldn't. I need to keep it to myself at the moment, and I need to strike when the moment was right.
Now, how many of your plans have I revealed in the past? Let's be real.
I couldn't even trust myself with it. So,
that's fair.
Let alone trust someone else with it.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know how many times I almost spoiled it before even coming on Sportswire when I wasn't part of the show?
The signs were there, and if people would have paid attention, maybe they would have seen it. But that's fair.
I'll say this: I resigned with IMF. I guess. Let me think. A couple days ahead of King of CR. So, Dirty Donnie knew what I was in the crowd. Dirty Donnie knew exactly what my intentions were, but he didn't know exactly that they were going to happen the way that they did.
You know, but normally I question Donnie's decisions, and obviously, this Saturday is living proof of questionable decisions.
You did say that, by the way.
We'll leave it at that. All I'm gonna say is good luck, Donnie.
Do I believe Donnie's an A1 athlete?
No. Definitely not.
Do I believe he's an athlete? Perhaps. A1 though, he's no steak sauce of athletics.
But he doesn't need to, because that's not what they judge. If he gets out there and beats Felix Jones, listen, he could still do that. Everybody has a chance when they get out there. So, Dirty's got a shot.
Tom, let's talk probabilities and chances, shall we? And this is a similar conversation to one that Omen and I have had in the past. What are the chances of Donnie beating Felix this Saturday?
I'm not a betting man, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that. But I would say that he's got a 50% chance, because there's a 50% chance he wins or Felix wins.
50% chance?
Well, Felix has got a 50% chance also. I mean, listen,
how much money would you like to put on that? I'm
Tom? Not a betting man. I don't bet.
Okay.
I would bet that Felix would have an edge. Certainly, he's going to be the favorite, but I don't do betting. I don't get in the business of that. Dirty is competing. That's up to him to figure out. Felix is certainly going to be the favorite, but I don't get into betting. You could certainly tell us what the percentages though would be, because you remember you were always right. So we were rejoicing to hear that.
Can we give negative odds? Is that possible?
We have a guy that comes on here and does that, so you can do whatever you want. We're not going to certainly get away with that.
I'm not gonna steal his thunder. That's fine.
You can do that. You're Jordan Kelly.
I appreciate that, but no, I give Donnie less than any chance. I don't even give him 1%. Now, why is no? But ask me why, Tom. Ask me why.
Well, Felix Jones right now, I mean, he's on top of the world literally right now in IMF. I mean, there is a point to be made on that. Felix, what he has done and what he did winning the King of Cedar Rapids, there's no denying Felix's ability. And what Felix has done to guys throughout the IMF and in this circuit, I mean, Felix is at the top of his game, and he's not even scratched the surface yet. So I understand the main points.
Felix Jones has main evented the last 2 months of IMF. Felix Jones has won the King of CR. Felix Jones is, well, to steal a phrase, an A1 athlete.
That's me.
What is Donnie? I mean, really, what is Donnie? Donnie is a above average at best commentator, and definitely not a full-time wrestler.
But he's got heart.
Let me answer that for you. Dirty Donnie, yeah, he may not compete a lot, but if you're going to talk about the history of Dirty Donnie, he was once a United States champion.
Tag team champion?
He was tag team champion.
So was Baron von Raschke. I mean, in his prime, maybe I give him a fighting chance. Any given Sunday, all that.
Like Tom said, though.
Not now.
It takes just a snap of the fingers, and something could change drastically in the match.
It's possible. I will say, again, let's go back to questionable decisions by Dirty Donnie and the rest of IMF management. I broke the news the other night when that Blabbermouth Steel was on. I'm suspended.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't get to be there. I won't get to witness the end of Dirty Donnie's in-ring career. I won't get to witness the massacre of Kyle Keplin.
And you won't get to see potentially Ox McCoy regaining his IMF Hardcore Championship.
Wait. And who helped take that title from him? I'm curious. How you doing there, Mule? I know you're watching. Just saying. There are a lot of things that are happening this month at St. Patty's Day Massacre. And you know what? I'm going to take the opportunity, just like Omen Black did, to step away, polish some things up. And when I come back, maybe you'll see something new from the Prophet Jordan Crowley.
Well, Mr. Crowley, you're always welcome here on Sportswire anytime, and you are welcome here Thursday. So I know you may not be able to be there Saturday, but you are always welcome here anytime, sir.
I appreciate that, Tom. And, I understand that this is obviously Omen's time tonight, so I'm not going to monopolize it like, maybe, somebody else might monopolize maybe the dinner tray. Not that I'm going to mention any names.
He'll be here Thursday. I think you know who you're talking about. He'll be here Thursday.
Who, Freddie?
No, I was referring to Mr. Steele-A-Meal himself.
But no, he has lost a lot of weight, and he looks great right now. So not as many dinner trays.
Wait, he got a haircut?
He's lost some weight.
He got a haircut. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Okay.
Can I address something? I see a comment that's really just got my attention.
Uh-oh.
Zilla's comment about I like Kyle Kaplan better.
Uh-oh.
Zilla, I didn't have an issue with you. Is that to me?
Zilla had such potential, and now she's.
I remember she was with the House Flash. Remember, she was always with the House. She said, "I love Omen Black. Omen Black's great. I'm a big Omen Black fan."
I used to be her favorite wrestler, and now that I'm back, like you don't even have that same spunk, that same spark. Like if all people that I saw react the way I came back, people are chanting, "Oh, man's back! Oh, man!" I didn't get not one message from Zilla. Welcome back, Omen, or welcome back, champ. I'm so glad you're back.
So Zilla's opinion changes about as much as a New York turnstile changes. Got it.
All right. I still like you, Zilla. Don't take what I'm saying.
I did that yesterday. I changed the turnstile in the train. Also, get well soon, soldier. Don't come back.
Yeah. Don't break your other arm patting yourself on the back there, soldier.
Easy.
Well, I'm not going to agree with that comment, but I am going to say we do hope you do come back in commentary. I love hearing you on commentary, and I hope Donnie and you continue to do what you do best, and listen, I can't wait to see you.
At the end of the day, that's still my brother, and if anyone's going to talk shit about him, it's going to be me.
And here's the thing, and this is why I started off this conversation the way I did. I understand family. And obviously, my sister. We don't always see eye to eye. But at the end of the day, it's still family. So I understand. Soldier is your brother. You don't always see eye to eye, but it's still your family. So again, while I respect the decision, and I understand not keeping me in the loop, again, I respect it. And that's fine. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. However, with that being said, perhaps I'll figure out some way to tune in this Saturday and observe the little unleashing, because obviously I'm very well aware of your training and the things that are going to happen to Kyle this Saturday. I wish I was there in person for. And you're not the only one that I'm looking forward to watching the tape.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that, Tom.
Because I'm an A1 athlete.
Indeed.
Not on 818 Avenue.
In the words of Shimdog.
Oh.
Omen there, he's an A1 athlete.
He is. And he meant to do that. It's okay. Tom, it's okay. All of this will make sense to the world soon enough.
I can't wait. And Mr. Crowley, obviously, we always rejoice when you come on here. And obviously, you're welcome here anytime. And can't wait to see you on Thursday. I'm sure you will have something to say. Even though Soldier says stay far, far away from the IMF, you are always welcome on here. And I will always rejoice when you come on here, even if you don't want to necessarily feel the same.
You know, Tom, it's funny that Soldier says that, and yet the only time that man comes at me is from behind. He only attacks from behind. He's always blindsided me. I am not a wrestler. I am a commentator, and yet he still has to take shortcuts to get an advantage on me because he knows at the end of the day, where it matters most, I have him beaten, and I will always have him beaten. Now, with that being said, Tom, I'm going to respectfully bow out because this is Omen Black's evening. This is Omen Black's platform.
I agree on that.
I'm going to turn it back over to him. Gentlemen, you have yourselves a good evening.
Thank you, Jordan Crowley. That is the Prophet Jordan Crowley, and he had a lot to say. And before we sign off, Omen Black, your reactions to what the Prophet Jordan Crowley just said to you.
What I have to say about what Jordan Crowley just had to say,
yes, sir.
Well, I actually don't know how to address everything he said. Besides, I am an A1 athlete.
Well, we've definitely established that if anybody didn't know you were an A1 athlete before tonight, they will definitely know it by the time we're off the air, for sure.
I think I've touched based on everything. You know, I talked about my marriage with Chi-Chi, my divorce with Chi-Chi.
Went back to the homeland, talked about some of the things you enjoyed
home.
there, talked about Anthony Steele, your reactions to that, talked about your mom and why you decided to do what you did. You've talked even about Isaiah Rage for a little bit. You brought up Felix Jones quite a bit, and some of
Felix Jones. Talk about Main Event
Al
Empire.
Kaplan came on here. How about that? You even had a fan that kept trying to repeat over and over to get your attention. You addressed him. And you charge him like $1,000 for the autograph, which we established that. I mean,
and that's a bargain right there.
I believe it. I believe it.
I'm honestly giving it away at that point.
Weren't you going to make like $1,000 to go there like once upon a time?
Oh, yeah.
In a different life?
Yeah.
It feels like a different life now, you know, for all of us. But, I mean, you obviously understood. I mean, we've talked a lot. We've talked about the IMF World Championship, by the way. We've talked a lot about that. And that road to that championship starts this Saturday against the man you saw here in Kyle Kaplan.
I will say this. Omen Black's always got some tricks up his sleeve, though. I hate when bringing it back up like it's a disease, but Anthony Steele, what he said the other night, the old Omen's back. I'm not the same Omen that you met in the yard. I'm not the Omen that was pro foundation. Love to come out and get the cheers. I'm the Omen that was last year. Just I guess my mission is different.
I'm glad you said that because I kind of felt the same way because I don't look at it as we're getting that Omen Black. I think this is an evolution of Omen Black. I think we're about to see the very best era of Omen Black. I think from what you've been doing in the lab, from your time away and what it's allowed you to think about and what's on your mind and the shape that you're in and what you're going to do out there. No, this is not the old Omen Black. This is a new and improved and a different Omen Black. And how fitting, ladies and gentlemen, before we sign off, you're here on 316 Day, right? We think about Stone Cold Steve Austin and we think about that. And Omen Black is here on March 16th. He's here and we're about to see a new era of Omen and Black like you've never seen before. We're going to see him coming up this Saturday. IMF St. Patrick's Day Massacre. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, they broke an attendance record from last month's show. And they'll probably do it again after this one. But that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a slew of great matches we're going to be talking about. We're going to get a lot of them in store. And we're going to be here Thursday night. Sean Jovi, I'm sure, will be here. I'm sure Anthony Steele will be here. We'll certainly talk about that. We'll talk about Jason Storm, another guy, by the way. I'm very curious to see what happens. And Anthony Steele will talk about, once again, his match with JX. I am very intrigued about that. We'll talk about the Tag Team Championship. We'll talk about Dirty and Felix Jones. We'll talk about Isaiah Rage. We'll talk about Kyle Keplin once again. We'll talk about a number of different things. That's why you got to be here. And we're going to talk about Ox McCoy most certainly getting his hardcore championship back. And Ciampa, I'm going to turn it over to you and give you the floor and give you some closing thoughts. And very excited to hear those. And take it away.
This Saturday, I'm going to make history yet again when I step in the ring with Kyle Keplin. And I'm going to show everyone who doubted me in the IMF locker room, everyone who wanted truly me to be gone, I'm going to show you why without Omen Black, the IMF wouldn't be the place where it's at today. And I'm going to do exactly what everyone chants for me to do against any opponent I come across. I'm going to kill Omen Kill.
Well, you know what? There's a not so famous Metallica song, not Kill 'Em All, but Insane Anger, where James Hetfield goes, kill, 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 kill. It's all within my hands. And it seems like Omen Black, it's all within his hands. What's going to take place this coming Saturday, St. Patrick's Day Massacre, him and Kyle Keplin, the Duke of Detroit. It is going to be a match we're going to be talking about even further on Thursday night. Same time, same bad channel, and you'll see a slew of your favorites. Please follow the IMF on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We always donate 1 ticket to every show. So please go out there and give them the same support that they have given us. And congratulations to everybody in the locker room on breaking an attendance record. You're going to see Rory Fox out there. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens with him and Damian St. Austin Bayless. I mean, there's some great talents out there. Jovi always documents them with the vlog. And I also want to point out what Omen had touched upon a little while ago. Please continue to keep Il Drago and his family in your thoughts and prayers. We want to continue to see his progress, his recovery. Obviously, his other half does so much for Kiera's Comfy Creations. We want to make sure we continue to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. And we want to thank everybody here for tuning in. And also, Jordan Crowley, people are not happy he was here, but he will probably be here on Thursday's show. And he'll talk, I'm sure, more about some other things on his mind. And I think I'm here with Joey Knight Jr. tomorrow before Julia Lodgy is on. And it took me all day to figure out how to pronounce that name, but it won't take me long to figure out to pronounce it because it's on his platform. The boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god, the Baba Yaga himself, Omen Black. And it is his day. And we look forward to seeing you here soon. And Champ, congratulations. Welcome home. Welcome back out there in the IMF. And really excited, I'm sure, to talk more about you on Thursday. And looking forward to it. And congratulations.
Thank you, Tom. And I'm going to do this for, it's been a while since I've done this, and it feels weird. You know what it is.
No! Wow, boy! Omen Black. I still say it's a new and improved Omen Black, but that's what he wants to say, and it's his story, and no one's going to tell him otherwise. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, with all music and all wrestling matters. And also, Zilla wants to point out now, Omen, you are now tied for being Zilla's favorite wrestler of all time.
You only pick one, so I'm not going to be in competition.
No.
So if I'm tied with someone, might as well pick the other guy.
Well, tie goes to the runner.
I'm not here to be tied with anyone. I'm here to be the top.
Well, right now you're here, so for now you're ahead. But maybe Zilla will change her mind. But Felix might be here Thursday. He might be here. I mean, I don't know. What a Disney character, not a good one. Like, okay, I think we've got enough. Thank you, everybody. And until then, please follow the IMF on all their social media platforms. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportzwire Radio, where all music and all wrestling matters. Thank you, everybody. See you Thursday.